This episode is brought to you by Shopify. Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. From the launch your online shop stage, all the way to the we just hit 1 million orders stage. No matter what stage you're in, Shopify's there to help you grow. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/special offer, all lowercase. That's shopify.com/special offer.
Families have a lot going on. Let Ollie help manage the mental load with new cognitive help supplements for everyone 4 and up, like delicious Lolly Focus Pops or Lolly Mellow Pops for kids. And for parents, try 3 new Brainy Chews to help you focus, chill out, or get energized. Find these cognitive health buddies for the whole fam at ollie.com. That's OLLY.com. These statements have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
This is Optimal Work Daily, episode 1320, Breaking Up with Your Job. Mad Men demonstrates what work relationships and romantic relationships have in common, by Samantha Joel of loves.com. And I am Dan. I'm the host of this show, and if you're new here, this is where we read each and every day from these great blogs that cover work-related topics, like starting a business, finding work, leaving your job, and all that great stuff. So let's now hear from a brand new author on the show, Samantha Joel, and I'll tell you a little bit more about Samantha and the site loves.com when I'm finished. But for now, let's get to the post and optimize your life. Breaking Up with Your Job. Mad Men demonstrates what work relationships and romantic relationships have in common, by Samantha Joel of loves.com. In one episode of Mad Men, Peggy was seriously thinking about jumping ship from SCDP to another company. In case you're not completely caught up with the show, I won't tell you what she ended up choosing, but you can see how this could be a very difficult decision for her or for anyone contemplating leaving a job. On the one hand, Peggy likely holds some resentment for her boss and her coworkers, given that she's not always been treated fairly at SCDP. This dissatisfaction may motivate her to look elsewhere. On the other hand, as we know, breaking up is hard to do. What about all the time and energy she's put into the company over the years? And what about her loyalty to Dawn? The questions Peggy grapples with when she thinks about leaving her company are not that different from the sorts of questions that people grapple with when they think about leaving a romantic partner. Indeed, research on commitment shows that the thought processes that affect these two decisions are really quite similar. The 3 factors that best predict commitment to a romantic partner, satisfaction, investment, and quality of alternatives, also prove to be useful in predicting commitment to a company. Satisfaction represents whether or not people are getting what they need from a particular relationship. In the case of Peggy and her relationship with SCDP, her satisfaction is pretty low. Things took a turn for the worst in season 4, when Peggy was not given any credit for helping land a prestigious advertising award. Dawn: It's your job. I give you money, you give me ideas. Peggy: And you never say thank you. Dawn: That's what the money's for. This lack of respect and appreciation became even more blatant as the brand new male hire, Ginsburg, has continually received all the best accounts and opportunities, while Peggy has received nothing but a higher workload. All of this has served to make Peggy resentful and unhappy with her job. Just like someone who's dissatisfied with a romantic partner, Peggy's low satisfaction with her company is likely to motivate her to leave. Investment represents how many resources, such as time, energy, and money, a person has put into a relationship that they risk losing if the relationship ends. For example, people in romantic relationships often consider investments such as the experiences they've shared with their partners, the mutual friendships they've developed, and the plans for the future that they've made together. Investments are likely to be a key source of conflict for Peggy, as her investment in SCDP is quite high. Peggy has been working at the same company for many years. If she leaves, what will become of her relationships with her clients and her coworkers? Most importantly, what will become of her relationship with Dawn? Although Dawn has often failed to appreciate Peggy's efforts, he's also been there for her during some important times in her life, like when he promoted her from secretary to copywriter in season 1, or when he visited her in the hospital after she gave a baby up for adoption in season 2. She is also one of the few characters who's been there for Don when he needed support, such as when Anna Draper died in season 4. Altogether, Peggy and Don have developed a very close mentor-mentee bond. The risk of losing that relationship is a huge motivator for Peggy to stay at SCDP. My guess is that it's the reason she hasn't left already. Quality of alternatives represents what a person thinks they would have if they were not in their current relationship. In the case of a romantic relationship, quality of alternatives usually refers to other romantic partners who a person thinks they could attract, those proverbial fish in the sea. In Peggy's case, quality of alternatives refers to the other companies that might be willing to hire her, and whether or not they are likely to treat her any better than the folks at SCDP. People who are already highly committed to their relationships, in other words, highly invested and highly satisfied, usually don't pay much attention to their alternatives. For example, Peggy wasn't even thinking about going for job interviews right after she got promoted to copywriter or after she got her own office back in Season 3. But for those with low commitment, like Peggy has in Season 5, quality of alternatives can become the deal breaker that determines whether they ultimately choose to stay or leave. So Peggy's decision about whether to leave may hinge on whether or not she can get a better deal elsewhere. Overall, Peggy's relationship with her company is much like a romantic relationship that has run its course. Although she's made a lot of investments into the company, she's just not getting what she needs at this agency, which is motivating her to look elsewhere. Now, it all depends on whether or not a different agency is prepared to offer her more. And for Peggy, more doesn't just mean more money. She's looking for intangibles like power, respect, and appreciation. If she manages to find them in another company, it may be difficult for Dawn to match the offer. You just listened to the post titled, "Breaking Up with Your Job. Mad Men Demonstrates What Work Relationships and Romantic Relationships Have in Common," by Samantha Joel of loves.com. When it comes to hiring, don't go searching for the one. Just meet your match with Indeed. Indeed is your matching and hiring platform with over 350 million global monthly visitors, and a matching engine that helps you find quality candidates fast. Ditch the busy work. Use Indeed for scheduling, screening, and messaging. 93% of employers agree. Indeed delivers the highest quality matches compared to other job sites. And one of the things I really love about Indeed is that it filters out those incompatible applicants. So when you're hiring, the process is much faster and you only have to consider applicants that are already likely to be a great fit. And listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit to get your jobs more visibility at Indeed.com/startup. So just go to Indeed.com/startup right now and support our show by saying you heard about Indeed on this podcast. Indeed.com/startup. Terms and conditions apply.
Look, Bumble knows you're exhausted by dating. All the, must not take yourself too seriously, and 6'1" since that matters. And what do I even say other than, hey? Well, that's why they're introducing an all-new Bumble, with exciting features to make compatibility easier, starting the chat better, and dating safer. They've changed, so you don't have to. Download the new Bumble now.
And thank you so much to both Samantha and Loves.com. Loves.com takes research findings from the fields of psychology, family studies, sociology, communication, evolutionary biology, and others, and puts them in a format that you can use. They are actual experts who are active researchers and professors in the field of relationship science, publish in peer-reviewed scientific journals, and are frequently sought out by the media and popular press sources to share their expertise. And as for today's contributor, Samantha Joel, she is an assistant professor at the University of Utah who earned a PhD from the University of Toronto. Samantha's research examines how people make decisions about their romantic relationships. For example, what sort of factors do people take into consideration when they try to decide whether to pursue a potential date, invest in a new relationship, or break up with a romantic partner? Samantha is particularly interested in states of ambivalence or indecisiveness over these important relationship choices. Her work often integrates judgment and decision-making techniques and concepts, as well as attachment theory. So come on by loves.com for a lot more, and that has an unusual spelling, which I'll share for you. It's LUVZE.com. And that's going to do it for this episode of OWD. As always, thank you so much for tuning in and staying all the way through to the end. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow, where your optimal life awaits.